Guys, this is not good. We literally just had Garrett get liquidated. We talked about Garrett Gin and his liquidation level on a video. I'll show you the video in a second, but I've just seen another two crazy whales have put on more crazy long positions. $113 million long position, 15x leverage. $89 million long position, 20x leverage. Both of them are already in a loss, right? One's 3.9 million in a loss. The other one's 1.8 million in a loss. And also, a little bit of a conspiracy, but we do see a lot of data coming out that actually ETH also have quite a big, a large liquidation level. So apparently the ETH Foundation's liquidation level is 1.1K. And it's reportedly around $182 million. And do you know what happens with these liquidation levels? We talked about this before. We talked about potentially coming down to this level. We said that this Garrett guy is probably going to get liquidated, as you can see here. They could wick him at any moment. You know, middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., when everyone goes to sleep, scam wick to the downside. I might even set up a massive limit order long at his actual liquidation close, just in case we get that. Because even though this wicked down, look at the size of the move of this. So we talked about this recently, right? And the price literally came down to his exact liquidation level and took Garrett out. And Garrett ended up losing. How much did he lose? I think he lost $250 million in one trade. And the cool thing is with Nansen is we can actually go and see where these guys' liquidation levels are, and potentially use those as targets, right? What happened when we came down to Garrett's liquidation level? We had quite a strong bounce straight up. So there's a couple of trades there. There's the short down to the liquidation level. There's the long off of the liquidation level, and then a TP off that, because usually you're going to come back down afterwards. But yeah, let's have a look at these liquidations. So the first whale, so $113 million long position, his liquidation, or her liquidation, is 1.29K. 1.29K. That's actually not too far away from the Ethereum liquidation as well. So if you're going to bring the price down to 1.29, 1.2, why wouldn't you bring it down to 1.1 and take out the ETH Foundation as well, right? There's a lot of people who will make a lot of money off of these liquidations. It also brings the price down, so it enables the banks, the institutions to get some really cheap Ethereum. It just makes sense going into a bear market, especially when you've been in a cycle where the banks haven't been allowed to play and retail have been the ones that are able to buy, and now the government, the administration has said, oh, okay, now the banks can come in and buy. They're like, we're not going to come and pump your bags. You've just made a 5, 10, 20x over the last few years. We're not going to come and act as your exit liquidity, right? So even more likely that we come down and hit some of these liquidation levels and take out some of these targets. Let's have a look at the other trader, because that's just one of them. So that's 1.29K. Let's go and have a look at that other long position and see where their liquidation is. Their liquidation is 1.33K, so it's a little bit higher. So we might see a liquidation cascade, just as we saw with Garrett, right? It was kind of early hours in the morning, and we started to see loads and loads of long positions getting liquidated. I think it was in multiple billions of dollars was liquidated in a very short amount of time. And we've been talking about the bear market for a while, right? We had the sell signal from the SMC bot, and the trend is your friend until the end. You know, we don't have a buy signal. We had these yellow topping candles flash up on the SMC bot. And, you know, we seem to be continuing down here. A lot of people said we're a little bit overextended. But, I mean, look at the last move here. The last move was this, right? Top to bottom. This was the move. It took some time. It didn't happen overnight, right? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 12, 13 weeks before you actually came down and hit this target. And, I mean, if we were to run this again from the top to the bottom, it would actually take us down to 1K exactly, 1K, which is where my major support level is for Ethereum. So that's definitely some confluence there. This might just be the second leg down, guys, right? First leg, move to the upside, second leg down, and that would bring us down to 1K. Not only that, it'd probably take out the ETH Ethereum Foundation. It would take out these crazy longs. Let's also play the conspiracy card. These longs might actually be fabricated to actually bring the price down, right? To give the market makers a target to go for and to try and liquidate the foundation, or even to try and bring the price down, right? If you was a bank or an institution and you're like, this ETH thing could be a serious layer for stable coins, it could save us a fortune, we can't compete with USDC, we can't compete with USDT, maybe we actually need to get into the Ethereum ecosystem. What do? You want to bring it down as much as possible. You want black swan events, you want liquidations, you want to bring the price down so you can start to accumulate large amounts at lower prices, right? So it could be genuine trades, it could be manipulation, right? Keep an open mind with these things, because this space is an absolute cesspit. And when it comes to money, these guys at the top, guys, market makers, institutions, banks, they're absolutely ruthless. So everything seems to be going exactly as we've talked about. I posted this back on the 14th of November, and I said USDT dominance is trying to break out. So you can see here we were breaking above resistance. My target for the top of this is the bear market low. So when it reaches my target, I expect it to be around accumulation phase where we start to buy. The SMC bot gave us a buy signal back all the way down here around 4.6%, 4.7%. And it's crazy how it played out, guys. Look at that. That's where we had the buy signal down here from the SMC bot. Here was my bear market target. You can see this white line up here around 9 to 10%. And we're currently sitting around 8%. So we are getting close to where I was planning to buy. And it looks like we're continuing to trend to that target. Now, I do think we are going to go a little bit over this. I could do another video about that, but basically stable coins are being used for all different things now. So there's a lot of stable coin issuance and it's being used for payments and transaction fees. So it's not going to be as good of an indicator as it used to be, but it's still good for Confluence. So I'm still using it for Confluence at the moment. So yeah, it's crazy how we're heading to that target, guys. It's absolutely crazy. And even the other things played out, right? The Def Cross is about to happen. So, you know, we had the bear market Def Cross, and everyone was saying Def Crosses can be bullish, Def Crosses can be bullish. What happened? What did I say? I said Def Crosses can be bullish in a bull run or at the start of a bull run. Why would a Def Cross be bullish at the end of a bull run? It's the bear market. It's the final Def Cross. And if you look at every Def Cross at the end of the bull run, it was the start of the bear market. So everybody who was calling it, you know, all of the people saying, oh, this is bullish, this is a bullish sign, look what happened last time, got wrecked. They got liquidated whilst we were shorting. Def Cross, it was about to happen. The only thing that worries me is it seemed a little bit too easy. I said this is the perfect setup for downside, and it just played out to the downside. It just crashed. It just completely crashed like a normal bear market. We topped here where we were supposed to top. We broke the bull run trend line. We came back and tried to retest, and then we nuked. Everything played out as normal as last cycle. It's a little bit worrying because I was expecting to see a lot more manipulation, you know, price deviations, resistance and support lines broken so that the previous trend lines didn't remain. Maybe they wanted everything to look the same. Maybe they wanted these trend lines to play out because if all of these trend lines have played out, people are going to be thinking the final trend line is going to play out, which is, you know, 30K, the 30K support line. Because this has happened, now technically this should happen. We should come down to 30K, between 30K and 40K. Now I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's going to be too much buy pressure. I'm just saying, if everything is happening how it's usually happened, that has to be on the cards. That has to be an option. We have to keep an open mind. Even though it would be absolute disbelief to see Bitcoin at 30K, it would still be double the price of where it bottomed, right? It would still be 2x from where it bottomed in the previous cycle. I do find it hard to believe that we'll come down to 30K, and I'm more than happy to buy before 30K. And, you know, I'll definitely be buying between the 40 and 50 range. Am I buying yet? No, absolutely not. I think the bear market is just getting started, and I think we do have some more downside here. I think the bear market's getting started for altcoins, right? We are actually quite a long way down into this bear market already from where we started to sell, right? We started to, we done our final sell alert, I think, in November. And it was around 110K. Bitcoin was around 110K. Ethereum 3,700. I think that's down over 44% now. It might even be 50% plus. Solana 183 and $250. So that's definitely down over 60%, 65%. So yeah, look, we are getting deep into some discounts here. But historically, we are going to see sideways and down, okay? It's very unlikely that we're going to see a V-shaped recovery here. I think we are going to come back and it's going to be pain. We haven't seen any black swan events yet. There's this Epstein stuff floating around. It's not really a black swan. I mean, last cycle, guys, stable coins depegged. People were selling their stable coins at a loss, at a 20% loss. People had $100 million in a stable coin and we're selling it for a $20 million loss because the value was down 20%. That is a black swan event. That is something to cause mass panic. And I probably would have started selling as well if I had very large amounts of money. And I could see, imagine you check your $1 million portfolio of USDT ready to buy the dip and it's worth 20% less, and you see it falling and falling and falling, right? It's that's a serious black swan event. FTX collapse, the DOJ cracking down on everyone. We haven't seen any pain, and I think that's probably still to come. We've seen little things here and there. This October the 10th liquidation. We haven't seen any major black swan events, and something as well to be prepared for if we see that. But we are coming down fast here. Look how fast this is broken out, this stable coin target. We're really not far from my bear market target. This would actually line up quite nice with my 40-50k range as well, because if we start to push up to here, so let's say 9, 10, 11%, I think Bitcoin should be between 40 and 50k here, and Ethereum potentially should be around that 1k to 1.3k level. So some really nice targets. Congratulations if you've been following the channel, guys. As you know, we've been looking for a top around 120 to 125k. We started to take shorts on BTC 125k, Ethereum 4,494. I was swing trading all the way down, so I took some longs here and there, but mostly the overall consensus has been, guys, we're going into a bear market. So of course you're not going to long and hold longs open going into a bear market. You're going to be looking for shorts. On reflection, I wish I'd have held just my initial shorts open a bit longer, but I was looking to trade this dead cat bounce. It could have been a 20k move. It was almost a 20k move. It's quite a lot, and we did take some longs here on this bounce, and it would have been easier just to short all the way down to be fair. But hey, degens are gonna be degens. So yeah, really good sells. As you guys know, my strategy at the moment is just capital preservation. I'm just saving money. I'm getting ready to buy. The stock market is still at all-time high, guys. We've still got to go through that crap, right? Bitcoin is down 50%, sure, from where we started to call for a top, but we still got to get through the stock market, and we're only just starting to see the crack showing in the stock market, which is good because we needed to see this, right? Crypto was front running. Well, we suspected crypto was front running the stock market, and then we started to get these sell signals from the SMC bottom stock. So we now can see that we are finally starting to crack here, and the stock market is starting to come down. Everyone up here was saying Netflix is invincible, it's tariff proof, it's recession proof. Massive red flags, right? This is kind of the area where Grant Cardone was selling his house to buy Bitcoin. We did start to see a lot of euphoria and a lot of AI is invincible, Netflix invincible. Now look what's happened. We had this yellow topping candle here, sell signal from the SMC bot, and now we're just continuing to trend to the downside. And it's not just Netflix. We've seen Amazon started to break. We've just had a sell signal from the SMC bot on Amazon. Lovely little M pattern here. Didn't quite get a double top, but almost. And now we're starting to break that into a sell signal from the SMC bot. We're starting to finally see stocks come down, and this is also going to bring crypto down, right? Stocks come down, crypto comes down, and crypto has definitely front run stocks, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to get that additional pressure. We talked about this potential short on Palantir. What happened to AI, the AI narrative? Everyone was frothing at the mouth, and we're starting to see it finally come down, and this could come all the way down to my blue line here, 66, where I would potentially be interested in nibbling into this if we come down to the 66, 67 level. I should probably do separate stock videos, guys, to show you what I'm planning to do and planning to buy, but that would be a 68% correction all day long. I'll take a 60, 78% correction on top stocks all day long. Because why? If I buy here at $65, it doesn't even need to get back to resistance for me to double my money, and I'm out, right? I take my initial out, all of my money in Palantir is now free money. Everyone is waiting for all-time high, but I've already doubled my money. Why? Because I didn't buy into the FOMO. I didn't dollar cost average in when an asset was up 700%, 900%. I mean, how much was Nvidia up? Palantir since the buy alert. So the SMC bot gave us a buy alert back down here around $7. It's up 27x. It's up 27x, and people are, oh, I'm buying this red candle up here. What are you doing? 27x in a couple of years. Like, they take the stairs up, they take the elevator down, and we're now starting to see that these stocks are taking the elevator down. Absolutely smashed it, guys. We didn't FOMO in, we didn't get froth. I saw all of these top accounts buying the little red candle here, buying the red candle there. They're probably going to be down 50, 70% in a few months. And that's when we come in and we scoop the dip, and there's max fear in stocks, and there's extreme fear, and real blood in the markets. This is not blood in the markets. I keep seeing people say, buy red days, buy red days. Not a red day. You're up 27x in a couple of years. A red day is down 70%, down 60%. And that is why patience pays off in this space. This is absolutely going to bring crypto down as well, which is fantastic for us because we're shorting the market. Stocks are at all-time high. If they get battered and absolutely come down, crypto is going to take a battering as well, which means our shorts will absolutely print, and that gives us more capital, more USDT to go and allocate into the market and to buy back, right? What else do we need to talk about? I think that's pretty much it, guys. If you want to join us, you want to see all the stocks I'm buying, when I'm entering, what leverage trades I'm taking. I'm going to try and buy the bottom of crypto. I'm going to try and get within 5 to 10K of buying the bottom on crypto. It's very hard to do, but we got so much data, so many indicators. I'm very, very confident. It's a lot easier to buy the bottom of crypto than it is to call for a top. And I even said, when I was calling for a top around this area, look, we could break out above, and if it does, it's probably going to continue to go higher. This isn't a solid, right? That's why I was messing around with small percentages, 0.5%, 1%, 2%, right? If I had max conviction, I would have been putting 5, 10%. Very, very hard to short the top of the market. We nailed it, and I think we're one of the few channels that did nail it. It's very, very hard. So I wouldn't even judge any of the best analysts for getting it wrong. It's very, very hard to do. The bottom is so much easier. Buying the bottom of the bear market is so much easier, and there's indicators that have been correct since the start of Bitcoin, at the start of crypto. So if these indicators are incorrect for calling a bottom, it's going to be the first time in history that they've ever been wrong. I'll take that bet all day long, right? I'll take that bet all day long. And also, institutions, smart money are looking at the same indicators I'm looking at, and they're probably going to start buy walls at those levels. So when you come down to those levels, they're probably going to set limit orders, and they're just going to buy everyone who wants to sell Bitcoin at those lows. Anyone who wants to sell Ethereum, Solana at those lows, they're probably going to set buy walls, and that's why you can kind of get these bottoming patterns like we did on Bitcoin in the bear market. If you look at the bear market, so you see here, there would have been a buy wall here around 16, 15K. And every time it come down, a whale, an institution, a baller would have just said, I'm happy to buy all of your Bitcoin at 15K. Just keep selling. Just keep selling. I'll set limit orders at 15K, 16K, 17K. And it's just like bought up. And then eventually everyone realizes we're not going to be able to push the price any lower. Whales and institutions are just buying it all, and we actually need to pack our bags because we don't want to give them too much, right? So there's normally a buy wall, and that is the area I'm really interested in this cycle. It's very hard to get that, but look how long it lasted. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, right? 2 months. You're in this bottom range where you could have taken a long here and absolutely changed your life on leverage. You could eat any spot you got here, probably changed your life. That's where I'm interested. Look, am I going to be depressed if I buy in this range? No, right? If I buy in 20K, 18K, 19K, I'm not going to be depressed, and this is a lot easier to buy in. But this final capitulation is where the real money is made, and hopefully our indicators are going to lead us there. Guys, if you want to join us, we got a bunch of we got over 1,000 members now, all in the Discord, all looking for the next best cryptos, the next best stocks. I am taking trades in there myself as well. We're all chatting about plans, setups, what we can do. I'm in there every day trying to get back to everyone. So yeah, if you want to join us, you want to see what we're up to, head over to Twitter, search this one, the bottom one, not the top one, and then click on this link, and that's going to take you to my page where you can join us. Once you join the Discord, you also get the SMC bot for free in your own trading view. So you see this bot that gives buy and sell alerts. You get this for free in your own trading view. It comes free with the Patreon when you join, and it's not complicated to set up. You just literally click on the asset you want to look at. For example, let's go QBTS, click on the asset you want to look at, and it's going to give you buy and sell alerts, right? You don't have to do anything. You don't need a paid trading view. It's going to completely snap to grid. This is where we bought QBTS, which is a quantum computing stock. This is where we started to take profits, $34. Look what happened, guys. Yellow topping candle, happy days, crash, right? Sell signal from the SMC bot, probably going to have a big correction here, right? So this is why we're getting in the pullbacks when we get the dumps, when it's 50% down, 60% down, we're buying the dip. And then we're taking profits in the FOMO when everyone's frothing at the mouth, when Grant Cardone is selling his house to buy Bitcoin. We're taking profits. This is when NVIDIA came out and said they're getting into quantum, right? It's one of the reasons we started to take some profits. Retail to retail, that's an amazing thing. NVIDIA are getting in. This is it. Actually, the smart money and the institutions are actually taking some profits off the table. Because why? We were up what were we up? 400, 500% in a few months. So yeah, of course you're going to take some profits off the table. So now all of our quantum plays are free money. We can't lose. Everything we have in quantum is completely free money, and it's a free lottery ticket, right? I'm going to hold it long term. I still believe in it long term, and I'm going to hold it for the next 5 years and see how the markets play out, see how quantum grows and interacts with our current IT infrastructure. So yeah, that's what the plan is. I plan to do this on my entire stocks portfolio. I'm waiting for the crash. I'm waiting for the correction. We're starting to see it happen right now, just as we've been looking about. And I'm really excited to start building portfolios again, especially in stocks, because stocks, look at stocks, guys. I mean, 27x. I mean, it was very hard to make this in crypto. And Palantir was an obvious AI company. Just like some of the quantum computing projects are very obvious, right? We went into the obvious one. Someone said, people were saying to me, why don't you go into this and this and this and this small cap and this small cap and this small cap? The small caps got annihilated, but it was the favorites that won, right? Rigetti, IonQ, QBTS. So I'm going to do the same thing going forward. There's no need to take extra risk. Why not just buy the winners, right? There's a famous saying, I can't remember who said it, but someone said, don't sell your winners. And look, everyone who bought Palantir, NVIDIA, all of the obvious, AMD, they absolutely printed, and I think that's going to carry on. Why would it change all of a sudden? So there's really no need, especially when these things are doing 20, 30x in a couple of years. We might see the same with photonic computing and quantum computing. We might see them just doing 20, 30x. And we've been pretty good at selling, and we also have the SMC bot that's going to help us sell and take profits as well. So if we are 10, 20, 30x up, we're probably going to take profits at the right time as well, right? Guys, none of the information in this video is financial advice. Do your own research. Investing in crypto, investing in stocks, anything is highly risky. You can lose all of your money investing in anything. So always do your own research. I am not a financial advisor. If you like the content on the channel, if you want me to talk about quantum, photonic, stocks, whatever, crypto, Bitcoin, let me know in the comments below what content you want me to make. If you liked the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my future updates, because I am getting ready to buy, guys, right? We sold our crypto last year. We actually started selling in 2024, so we've been selling for 2 years now. So we've been waiting a long time for this, and it's finally starting to happen. I'm so excited because I hate sitting on cash. And I'm finally able to just, once you deploy into a bear market, it's just so relaxing because you just put your money in, you've placed your bets, And now all you have to do is just stay up to date with what the companies are doing, you know, what their roadmaps are. Is there any? There's normally no change to it, right? Look, if Vitalik comes out and says Ethereum's a massive problem, we might need to create a new Ethereum. Of course, I'm going to be all over that. But normally, your low risk portfolio, it's a 5-year play, it's a 3-year play, it's a 4-year play, and my target is just 10x, right? I'm not trying to make 100x, 1000x. I'm just trying to make 10x every cycle, and yeah, it technically should be a buy the dip and relax. Doesn't always work out that way, because sometimes these companies come out and do crazy things, right? Elon comes out and tries to take on the government, or starts calling Trump a nonce. So yeah, you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen, but you stay on top of it and you react. But hopefully, we don't need to react. Guys, that's it for now. I will catch you in the next one.